So, hello and good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, whatever the time may be where you are in your place in the world, where your location might be. My name is Harald Selke, as you can read here, and I'm at Paderborn University, and I'm member of the Study Service of Computer Science. And our job here is basically to help you with all of your questions regarding anything related to our computer science programs, that is the bachelor program or the master program. And in particular, we're here tonight for the master program, of course, and this is what we want to focus on. We do these live streams basically every month, because there's a small caveat I'll talk about in a moment. And basically every month, as I said, and usually on the first Thursday each month. And we have a live stream dedicated to the bachelor program. So if you're interested in the bachelor program, you might, of course, ask questions tonight here. But then usually it would be a better idea to come to the other live stream, which is, as I said, on the first Thursday each month, 6 p.m. in the afternoon. German local time, and that's Central European time, and from April onwards it will be Central European summertime, of course. And on the third Thursday each month we have a live stream here for our master program, and that's dedicated not only to our current students but also to prospective students. So if you are here because you are already studying here, or if you are here because you have applied here and have been accepted for the summer semester, for example, or if you are here and are planning to or thinking about applying here to our university, to our master program in computer science, then you're welcome. You're welcome in any way, but in that case in particular, you are welcome to post your questions here, because we have a live stream here. That's the idea about live streams, that you can ask your questions as well, so that not I have to talk all the time about things that I think might be interesting to you. I could do that as a video, of course, but as a live stream, the nice thing is that you can ask questions here. Just put them in the right next to there or over there, wherever that may be, into the chat, and then I'll do my best to try and answer your questions, and or if I can't answer them, I hopefully know who might be able to answer them, and so I can give you the right people, the names or addresses where you might look for some more information to find out who can help you with any specific question. So as I said, third Thursday each month is this live stream for the master program, again at 6 p.m. obviously, which is where we started right now. 6 p.m. right now, as I said, European summertime, Central European time, CET that is, and from April onwards it will be CEST, Central European summertime. So you need to adjust your clocks accordingly, or your schedule accordingly, because we adjust our clocks, yeah. Just don't try and not to miss it. Very simple thing. Okay, so basically for tonight, what I have planned is to talk about the upcoming couple of upcoming things, and that's just a very, very short, very few remarks on what is going on right now at our university in the master program. And then more information on our master program, or especially for the students who have applied for our master program and have been accepted for the summer semester. So there might be some people out there who watching right now who have been accepted into our program. And if you have any questions, as I said, you can always ask them. And in April, the next round starts, so the next our semester starts. I will talk about that as well, about the dates and everything. And if you are one of those people who are still considering whether they want to apply for the next winter semester, because that's the next round we're currently in, then we can talk about that as well. You just should need to mention that you are interested in that, because otherwise I won't talk too much about that topic. Unless, of course, as I said, if there's any specific questions or unspecific questions, just ask them. Excuse me. And I'll try to concentrate on those questions, because it's always nice to know if there's somebody out there. So if you just want to say hello, that's nice as well. You can also do that, of course. And then we'll see where the evening will take us. Okay. So excuse me, just need to drink a little bit. I always have something to drink here, non-alcoholic beverage. And Just need that for, as you can probably hear, my voice is a little broken. Okay, so yeah, as I said, I would, there's already one question, and I'll come to that in a moment. But first thing is that I would like to mention is that currently we are in our semester break. So that semester break basically means that there are no lectures taking place right now. And so lectures have ended like 2 weeks ago or something like that. Almost tomorrow it's 2 weeks ago. And is it? Yeah, it's 2 weeks ago. And right now we're in the phase where lots of exams are being written, or oral exams are being taken, of course, also. And there's one important thing, because we have, that's now for the students who are already here at studying here at our university, that you are in the current examination phase, and maybe you want to take your examination not in the first phase but in the second examination phase. Then you can do that, of course, but you need to register for those exams as well. So if you have registered for the first examination phase, then you need to take that exam in this first phase, which is, as I said, on right now. And otherwise you would need to switch. If you want to take your exam in the second examination phase, then you need to register for that specifically. And you do that by registering in the PAL system, of course. And that registration starts Monday in a week, so on 26th of February, and it's only open for 2 weeks. So it's important that you don't miss that. And also, if you have missed for some reason, have missed to give you a to register for the course achievements, then that's also another possibility to register for the course achievements in that phase. If you can't do the course achievements any longer, of course, but because the semesters are almost done, is done basically, but you can still register for it. So if you took part in the course, in everything you needed to fulfill the course achievement, but you simply didn't register, you forgot to register, or for whatever reason, then you can register in this second phase, which is, as I said, 26th of February until I think 8th of March or something. So like two weeks, just next week and no, sorry, not next week, week after that, and the following week then. So only open for 2 weeks. So that's the slot you need to take care of. Oh, there's something I forgot to do here. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. Little irritation here on my side. Okay, so there's a question here. Hi, first of all, you've taken from the module handbooks that the lectures are always held in a certain cycle. However, some of those are not displayed in PAL. I just thus wonder if these will be added. The course program in PAL should already be more or less complete for the next summer semester, for the upcoming summer semester, which starts in April. So basically all the courses that are listed in PAL should be the ones that are being offered. Most modules are being offered on a yearly basis, so every second semester. And in the module handbook, it usually says if a certain module is held in the summer semester or in the winter semester. That's always written in the module handbook. But not all modules are being held on a yearly basis, in fact. So that's a bit unfortunate, because sometimes you have to wait for quite a long time. But usually most of our modules are being held on a yearly basis. But there's some exceptions to that. So, but basically, you are the course catalog in the PAL system is already complete. But if you are in doubt, you can always contact the person in the module handbook. It always says who's responsible for the module, which is usually the lecturer who lectures in this course, and you can always contact them directly. Just send them an email and ask them whether the course will be available, or whether or when the course will be available next time. So then they might say, well, yes, it was originally in the summer semester, but I've switched it to the winter semester. Sometimes that information is not updated in the module handbook because nobody told me. Sometimes I'm simply not told certain things, and then if I don't know about those things, then I can't correct the module handbooks, of course. So if in doubt, always just send an email to the lecturer, and that also sends a signal to the lecturer that there are people interested in the module, and then they might consider giving the module as soon as possible again. Maybe not in the summer semester, but as soon as possible. So that would be my recommendation here. Just contact the lecturers. It's always fine to contact lecturers. This is something that goes out to everybody out there listening right now. This is very common in our university, and I believe in most German universities, that you can simply contact any lecturer. Even if they are a professor, there's no need to hesitate. You can always contact them, ask them questions. Either they themselves will answer, or they will have someone from their team, like a research assistant or a secretary, someone will answer your questions. Usually quickly. Sometimes it might take a little, and sometimes emails get lost. You know that yourself probably, but usually people will answer, and there's no need to worry whether you might contact someone because he might be annoyed by you or something like that. That will never be the case, unless you send them emails on an hourly basis or something like that. So leave them at least a couple of days to answer your questions. Happy to help. Okay, so as I said, what I would like to talk about mainly today is the upcoming semester, because I should say that I have forgotten to mention that at the beginning. I said that we usually have these live streams on a monthly basis, but there's two exceptions to that rule, and that is that we don't have live streams in March and in September. So that's almost always the month where the full month is basically there's no lectures, but there's only exams going on, and it's the month before the semester starts, and usually there's not too many questions coming in that time. And I also like to go on vacation sometimes, and so that's why in March and in September we won't have a live stream for any live streams for the two of our programs, the bachelor and the master program. So the next live stream will be in the beginning of April then, and that's almost when the semester starts, and that's I think 4th of April should be the date, the Thursday in that week. And then the next live stream for the master program will then be on I think it should then be the 18th of April, so again the third Thursday in April. And as I said, please remember that will be Central European summertime then, so you might adjust your schedule for our changing of the clocks. So yeah, that's the important information. In March there will be no live stream, and that's exactly why I would like to talk about the next upcoming summer semester right now. But before I do that, let me talk about how to apply if there's someone out there who is interested in applying to our master program but hasn't done so until now. Then here's some things you should consider when you are planning to apply. And first thing is that we have a webpage for international students. You can find lots of links below this video here, and they are grouped into, I think, 3 different categories. So just check out which of the links might be interesting to you. And there's in particular one link for with information for international students. So if you are from a university somewhere in the world outside of Germany, and you wish to apply to Paderborn University to the master program in computer science, then you should check that website, because lots of information is given there, like, for example, what the exact requirements are, what the application dates are until when you can apply. One question we often get is, when do applications open? And the simple answer there is they're open the year round, so you can apply at any given time. So if you decide at any given date during the year that you wish to apply with us, you can do that. The only thing is, which semester can you apply for? And right now, in fact, it has already started on 1st of December. The application round started for the next winter semester, which will be starting in October. So if you're applying right now and you have time until 31st of May, that's the last date for applications for the upcoming winter semester. You can't apply any longer for the summer semester, but you can apply for the winter semester, and that is until 31st of May. And immediately after that, on the 1st of June, you can immediately start applying for the summer semester 2025, if you wish to do so. So if you're planning to come to us in winter 2024, then you should start assembling all of your documents that you need, and in particular check whether you are eligible for our courses, which is not always easy to decide. It's our decision in the end, but we have certain criteria, and those criteria are listed on this slide basically. The first thing that you need to check is what is your overall grade. And your overall grade will be some number that has been calculated by your university when you did your bachelor degree, and that should be written somewhere on your documents. And those grades can be on different scales. There are scales that go from 0 to 4,000. There are scales that go from 0 to 10, or from 0 to 20, or from 0 to 4. There's all kinds of different scales. And what you need to do in the first place is that you need to convert your grade to the German grading system. And the German grading system is a little strange because it's upside down. In most countries, in most universities, the grading is the higher the number is, the better the grade is. So on a scale of 0 to 10, for example, a grade of 9.8 would be a very, very good grade. A grade of 8 would be an okay grade or still good grade. A grade of 5 would probably be just past a grade, and but it depends again, because sometimes the grade starts at 5, sometimes so the minimum to pass might be 5, it might also be 4, it might also be 4.5. But that's something that your university, the university where you did your bachelor, decides, and it is written somewhere on your documents. It's stated somewhere on the backside usually, where it says that's the minimum grade that's the maximum grade that was achievable. That's the minimum grade you needed for passing, and that's the grade you got. And you need those 3 values. So because sometimes we get questions, I have a grade of 9.2. Is that good enough? And the only answer we can give is it depends. Because it depends, as I said, on those 3 things. What is the maximum grade? What is the minimum grade for passing? And finally, what is your grade, the grade itself? With those 3 numbers, you can then calculate your German grade. And there's a website for that. Again, it's listed below this video. It's called the Bavarian Formula. Bavaria is a state in Germany, and for some reason, the formula seems to have been developed there, or whatever reason it may be. And we're linking to a Bavarian university, in fact, the TU Technical University in Munich. On their website, there is a calculator, a grade calculator, and you need to enter those 3 values I just mentioned: maximum value, minimum value needed for passing, and the grade you received. You enter those 3 values in there, and then it spits out another number. And that number will be a number between 1 and 6. And on the German scale, or probably between 1 and 5, I'm not quite sure. 1 might be between 1 and 6, I'm not absolutely sure. And as I said, the German system is upside down, so 1 would be the best grade. So if you have a 1.1, 1.2, 1.0 even, then that would be a very, very good grade. 1.0 would be the best grade possible on the German scale. And the lower the value, the less good your grade is. So if you have a 3.0, you're still, at least from the grade-wise, you're still eligible. You're not kicked out just because your grade was 3.0. You might still be eligible, but there are more criteria to come. But if your grade is is worse than 3.0, which means a higher value than 3.0, like for example 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, then we can't accept your application. We don't even accept our own students who have grades like that. A student of our own university with a grade of 3.1 would not be able to go into our master program. And there's no exceptions we can make. That's a strict rule, and we have to follow that rule. So if you calculate your grade and you find out that the value is larger than 3.0, then you simply can skip applying at our university. There might be other universities in Germany that accept you with that grade, but we won't, or other programs, in fact. So it might be that it's another, our computer engineering program, for example, you wouldn't be eligible either, but for other programs you might still be. So not all is lost, because, as I said, there might be other universities. There are lots of universities in Germany where you can study computer science, or where you can do a master in computer science, and some of them might still accept you. I don't know their rules. Every university makes up their own rules in this respect. Okay, so that's the first check. Is your grade at least 3.0? That is the number you calculate 3.0 or less than that. If it's 2.9, even if it's 3.0, 3.0 is still good. So I've said that it needs to be better than 3.0. No, that's wrong. It needs to be 3.0 or better. It should read there. That's a mistake on the slide. I need to correct that. So 3.0 is still okay. But if the grade that you calculated has a value of 1.5 or higher, so that means it is worse than 1.5, excuse me, then you need to submit an additional document. And the typical way, I only mentioned one way here, there's another very new way, but that's not really available yet, and that's why it's not on this slide here. It will be available very, very soon, and might be available already when you wait a little bit, because from April onwards it will probably be available, the second way. I'll just mention it shortly, but the important thing is if the value of your grade converted to the German system has a value of 1.5 or higher, so that means it is worse than 1.5, then you need to also submit a GRE certificate. The GRE is a standardized test that you need to take, also for many, many universities in the world, like, for example, in the US, and for many, many other universities, you need this GRE test. And in that case, as I said, if the value you calculate is 1.5 or less than that, so if you have a 1.3, for example, or 1.4, or even 1.5 itself, you don't need to submit the GRE certificate. But if the value is higher than 1.5, then you need to send the GRE certificate along. Where you need to send things, we will talk about in a moment. And for that GRE test has three categories of in 3 parts there's 3 parts to this test, and we are only interested in 2 of those parts. And those 2 parts are quantitative reasoning, where you need to have at least 157 points, and analytical writing, where you have to have at least 4.0 points. From our experience, I can say that most people manage the first condition, 157 points in quantitative reasoning, because that seems to be easier for people who have studied computer science, have done lots of mathematics and things like that, and formal stuff. They usually seem to cope very well with quantitative reasoning. So they usually manage to get these 157 points. But the crucial point that many people fail is the analytical writing part, where, as I said, you need at least 4.0. And we see many, many applications where the value is lower than that. And there is an and between that, and we all have learned our Boolean logic, so that means that both conditions must be met. And so if you have 158 or even 170 points in quantitative reasoning, but you only have 3.5 in analytical writing, then you don't meet this requirement. And in that case, we would immediately reject your application. So again, this is strict criteria. So you need to send the GRE, and the GRE must meet these minimum requirements. These thresholds must be met. Otherwise, we will immediately reject the application. And again, there's nothing we can do about that, because those rules are strict. And that's the way things are. Assuming you have passed that test as well, so either your grade is 1.5 or less than that, better than that, lower value than that, according to the German system, or if the value is higher and you needed to send a GRE and you met both requirements, 157 points in quantitative reasoning and 4.0 points in analytical writing, then the next check begins. And that's now a check that we will do here at me, for example, and other people will do that check, and that is we need to check. No, that's I'm not there yet. There's another check that runs before that, and that is a check whether you have your knowledge of English is good enough. And usually, you have to, from most countries, you have to have to send another certificate, which might be, for example, IELTS or Cambridge Advanced or TOEFL, for example, and we also accept PTE, Pearson Test of English, academic. So there's a number of standardized English language tests. Duolingo is also one of them, with certain minimum thresholds. Again, check the website with our information for international students, and all the exact data are given on that website. So I won't talk you through all of those values here now, but you can check them on our website. And this must be one of these independent certificates. So if you just have from your university a document that says the medium of instruction was English, that's not enough. So you really need a certificate from IELTS, Cambridge Advanced, TOEFL, or one of the other alternatives I just mentioned, and as they are mentioned on our website, together with the thresholds you need to meet. There's one exception to this rule, and that is if English is an official language in your country. Like, for example, if you're from an African country, and in your Nigeria, for example, Nigeria, everything is done in English, as far as I know, at least. And in that case, we again need to check that if your complete bachelor program has been in English, your school education has been in English, and English is an official language in your country. In that case, you don't need this English test because, well, if you've done everything in English all of your life, the same goes, of course, not just for Nigeria. It goes also for the UK and the US, for example, and Canada, even the French-speaking parts of Canada, and Australia, New Zealand, Ireland. So all of those countries, of course, they speak better English than we do, obviously. So there's no need from any of those countries to send any kind of test of which checks whether your English is good enough. We are assuming that when you're from one of those countries. And if you are in doubt whether your country qualifies, you can check with our international office. Again, link is below this video. And you might either find it on their website, or if you don't, then there's contact information, and you can write an email to the international office, and they will tell you whether you need to submit one of those English language tests or whether you don't. Okay, then finally, that's the point I was already starting to explain, but now we're really here, and that is that then our main task begins. If you meet all of the above criteria, then it's our job to check whether you meet the computer science specific regulations. And the sentence goes on here behind me, but it's I'll talk about that, so it doesn't matter if you can't read it here. So we're specifically checking certain areas of computer science if you had those in your bachelor program. And those, again, they're listed on the website I mentioned, on this website with information for international students. So you can check there exactly what I will be telling you right now, and that is you need a certain amount of credits in 4 different areas. And in computer science, we traditionally had this kind of 3 of different areas of computer science, and one of those areas is the practical side of computer science, or as we would today call it, software engineering. So where you really do the programming and things like that. And in software engineering, you need 20 credits, at least in your bachelor program. If you have less than that, you'll probably not be eligible for our master program. I'll talk about a couple of things in a moment. So what are courses in software engineering? Not simple programming courses. Programming courses don't count. Programming is a prerequisite that we simply assume that you have. So we won't count programming courses, but we would count courses like, for example, if you had a course on compiler construction, if you had a course on software engineering, of course, if you had a course on databases and information systems. Those are the kinds of courses that we're looking for in the software engineering field. Then there's a second field, and that's called theoretical computer science. And in theoretical computer science, and that's usually where the most problems are. Most people have studied enough of software engineering in their bachelor programs, at least if they have studied something like computer science or computer science and computer engineering or information technology. But we also get applications from very different subjects as well. Like someone has a bachelor in petroleum engineering, for example, or someone has on civil engineering, or in mathematics, or in physics. And in those bachelor programs, people usually don't meet these requirements, even in software engineering. And it will be even harder in many of the other areas that I'm going to mention. And what is important here, we only count academic courses. So we can't accept here courses that you did on Coursera or Udemy or something like that. And we can't accept professional experience. So even if you are a mathematician who has worked for 20 years in software engineering and is now applying to our master program here, we wouldn't accept you, because you probably didn't have enough of those computer science related stuff in your bachelor program. That's the important thing. Those qualifications must be, you must have gotten those qualifications within the computer science program, or a computer science program that is a regular university program. So even with courses that are taught outside of the normal academic world by some very famous university, if it's just an online course which is outside of a standard academic program, we still wouldn't count that course. So it must be basically part of your bachelor program. There's very few exceptions when we can accept other courses than the ones you had in your official bachelor program. Usually, basically, very, very few, as I said. Okay, so software engineering. Then second part is theoretical computer science. And that's usually one of the crucial points, because many people don't have enough theoretical computer science in their bachelor programs, as we experience it, at least. As we now, I guess I've now seen like 3,500 applications over the last the last four and a half years. So I guess I've seen quite a few applications now, and know quite a few bachelor programs around the world. And in many cases, theoretical computer science is there's very little theoretical computer science in those programs. So what counts towards that? Formal languages, for example, finite automata, grammars, like regular grammars, for example, all those, then data structures and algorithms, which is something you usually have. Analysis and design of algorithms is a course which we typically see in many of your programs. So that would also count towards theoretical computer science. And then, of course, there might be a course which is directly called theory of computer science or something like that. Those courses will, of course, count. Then it might be so content of the content of those courses that count towards theoretical computer science, and that means not that content has been somewhere within that lecture, but that lecture has mostly concentrated on this kind of topics, like, for example, Turing machines, decidability, computability, NP completeness, reductions, diagonalization. Those are keywords that you should be familiar with, and that should have been taught in your bachelor program. And very often we find programs where this kind of content is not being taught, and you need that if you want to do your master here. Otherwise, you will have a very hard time, or in fact probably not be able to complete your master here, which is why we wouldn't accept you in the first place. Because once we accept you, there's no guarantee that you will manage the program, but we at least believe that you will be able to complete the master program. There's no guarantee, but as I said, we must be confident that you are able to complete this program. And we believe that you need this, as I said, the 20 credits in software engineering. You also need 20 credits in theoretical computer science. Then you need 15 credits in technical computer science. What is technical computer science? That is basically things like digital technology, computer architecture, but also operating systems, for example, or computer networks, networking courses would be there. So yeah, that's the kind of things that we would recognize in this field. Or if you did a course on VLSI testing or VLSI design or something like that, that would also be all considered to be technical computer science. And you need 15 credits in technical computer science. Again, many programs meet this requirement, especially if you have a program in, for example, in computer science or computer science and engineering, or in even in information technology. Very often typical programs where you don't have that, as well as you don't have enough theoretical technical computer science, but also often not enough theoretical computer science. Typical bachelor programs would be something like software engineering or computer applications, for example. Those are typical programs that seem to be very close to computer science, to our computer science program, but they often lack content in theoretical and technical computer science, which again would be a reason why we would reject your application. There might be exceptions, so that's why we really check each and every application individually, because there's such a vast variation. A certain program at like, for example, as I said, information technology might be very different in different universities, even within one country and in particular across the world. So there's so much variation. That's why each and every application is really reviewed individually, and we check each and every application exactly. We look through all the courses you had in your program. Okay, last one. So I said software engineering, theoretical computer science, technical computer science, and the last one is mathematics. You need solid foundation as well in mathematics, and you need 15 credits in mathematics. So okay, now I've talked a lot about credits. But what is a credit? Within Europe, where we have a joint system, which is called the ECTS system, European Credit Point Transfer System, and credits are kind of normalized. So we can immediately convert from one university to another university the ECTS values, because it's just the same. They are calculated in the same way. So if someone from Italy, for example, comes to us, or from Czechia, or from the Netherlands, or from Sweden, or from Spain, then everything would be very easy, because ECTS is ECTS. So basically, there would be no adjustment necessary. From other countries, that may be very different. For example, I just recently had a couple of applications from Morocco, and in Morocco, for example, you usually don't have credit points in that sense, but you have a number of hours that a certain module has. So something like 52 hours or something like that, and then we need to recalculate that. And there's certain ways that we can do that, and because those hours can be compared to the hours we have in our ECTS system, and then we need to compare those, and then we have to recheck that. But that's a rather rare case. In many other cases, most universities around the world, we have some kind of credits also, but of course those credits are not directly comparable to ECTS credits. And it might be that you, for example, in your program had 20 credits in each of your semesters, like for your program, for example, for your bachelor program, and you had 20 credits in each semester. Or maybe you had 25, or maybe you had only 15. And depending on that, we are recalculating those credits, because in the ECTS system, the basis is 30 credits in each semester. So basically, if you had 15 credits in your semester, in your bachelor program, and we have 30, then of course we would multiply all of your credits by a factor of 2. So if you only have, like, for example, 8 credits of mathematics in your bachelor degree, and from what I just said, you need 15, that wouldn't be a problem in that case if 15 was the total number in each semester in your program, because then we would multiply those 8 by 2, and then you had 16 credits, and with 16 credits, of course, you're good to go. So in that case, we would that part we would check that and say, yeah, positive. because you need to meet all of the requirements, of course, not just some of them, but all of the requirements. So we can't guarantee that that you will be accepted just by meeting that requirement, but that's one of the requirements you need to meet. So so we do an adjustment there, so that we kind of normalize your credits that you had into the ECTS system. So there's and we do all the calculation. There's no need for you to do anything like that. But of course, if you want to check beforehand whether it makes any sense to apply to our university, because this is what this slide is about, that you can check beforehand whether you even consider applying, because it probably will cost you some money if you want to apply, and energy, of course, health points. And in that case, you can check all of those things yourself, because, and if you're critical to yourself, then you might already get a good estimate whether you might be accepted or you wouldn't be accepted. And whatever we do, we will tell you, of course. So you'll get a notification by us. And that is usually not sent by me, that notification, but by our international office. Our international office will then send you an official notification stating that either congratulations, you have been accepted, or sorry, you have not been accepted. And they will also send you the reason why you haven't been accepted. So like, for example, you would have been required to send a GRE, but you didn't send a GRE. That's one of the major reasons why we reject applications, unfortunately. Like 75% of applications rejected last semester were rejected because the GRE was missing, even though it would have been required. Or it might be that we tell you, sorry, but your application looked quite good, but unfortunately there's not enough theoretical computer science or technical computer science or mathematics or software engineering. We won't specify exactly what is missing exactly in which field, but most of the time it will be theoretical computer science where something is missing. So as I said, we'll give you at least a rough reason why the application has been rejected, if it has been rejected. And of course, if you have been accepted, then congratulations, and you can decide whether you wish to come here. Even if we reject your application, that doesn't mean that other universities might not accept you. Just as I said with the total grade, the overall grade of your program, the same of course holds also for all the other requirements, language-specific ones, as well as the computer science-specific related ones, or computer science-specific ones. And other universities have different criteria. So it is always a good idea, if you want to apply at a German university, like for example at Paderborn University for the master program in computer science, you might also consider applying to other programs, like for example, depending on what your qualification exactly is, for example, to the computer engineering program. They need less theoretical computer science in computer engineering, but they need more on the electrical engineering side. So you will only be eligible for the computer engineering program if you have a certain amount of electrical engineering experience, which we don't require for the computer science program. So as you can see, the programs have different requirements, of course. And of course, you might also try to look at another university, and there might be other universities that have different criteria. They almost certainly have different criteria than we do. Although many universities have very similar criteria. So the criteria at Technical University in Berlin or Technical University Dortmund, for example, they are very similar to ours. There's certain differences, but they are quite similar overall. But there's many other universities in Germany, of course. That's just two random universities I just picked. And one idea would be, if the problem is indeed theoretical computer science, then one idea would be to also check universities of applied sciences. Because unlike technical university, it's just a normal university, although the name sounds different, but it's just the same as a normal university. Universities of applied sciences are a different kind of beast. They are different breed of universities, and they are concentrated specifically on the application side. We are also doing practical stuff, of course, and we also have industry contacts and everything that's also normal for every university. But the University of Applied Sciences, they are a little have a different focus, and they in particular usually don't have as much or require as much theoretical computer science as we do. But again, Every university is different there, so you would need to check with those universities. I can't tell you about the other universities. That's not my job here. I'm just talking about Paderborn University. But as I said, there are alternatives, and I would strongly recommend not applying just at one university, but at several universities to increase your chances. Because you can do it very easily, because all applications should go through the UniAssist system. Again, link is below this video. And when you apply, you send your application to UniAssist. You send all your documents with them. You don't send any documents directly to us. You send all of you, and please don't send us any documents for pre-evaluation. We can't do that. We receive too many applications, so we simply can't. We simply can't do it. We don't have the time to do that. So if you are serious about applying, then do that via UniAssist and send all the documents to them. And they will then do certain checks, like, for example, what is your general grade. They will calculate the grade to the German system, so that we can make sure that the grade has been calculated correctly. They will check your English certificates. They will check whether all the other documents you need to supply are complete. They will check whether university is recognized, because there are several universities in the world that aren't really universities. Plenty of universities around the world which are real universities, but there are some that aren't, and UniAssist also checks whether your university is a real university. So that's also been done by them. So send everything to them, and the good thing is, when you send everything to them, you can send them not just an application to our university, or just to the computer science program, but you can also say, well, I would like to apply for computer science and computer engineering, because I believe I might be suitable for both of those programs. If you're obviously not suitable for one of them, there's no reason to apply, of course. Or you might also say, well, I'm not just applying at Paderborn University, but also at some other universities, and maybe one of those universities will then accept your application. Again, check on the websites of the universities where you wish to apply, like, for example, on our website, the one with information for international students, link below this video. I can't say that often enough. Check there whether it makes any sense to apply. And if it does, well, then go forward with it. And we might receive your application maybe sometime soon. As I said, 31st of May, that's the final date when you need to apply for the winter semester. And after that, of course, you can apply for the next summer semester, which will then start in next April. And that brings me to the next step. Supposing you have been accepted, like, for example, you are one of the people who have applied before 30th of November last year, and you have applied for the upcoming summer semester. Then you might have been accepted because you met all those criteria I was just talking about. And then congratulations for having been accepted. And now you maybe have already decided that you wish to come to Paderborn University, because, of course, it's the best university, of course. What else would I say with this shirt on? So, so maybe you have already decided to come to Paderborn University, or you're still considering coming here, and then you might want to have some additional information on what will be next. And that's what I would like to talk about next. So, assuming you have been accepted, then these will be the next steps you should take. First thing is, you hopefully already have received a formal letter or email with the official notification from our international office, because this part now is not my part. We are just doing the computer science part, so we are your first point of contact for all questions regarding the everything that is computer science specific, everything that's related to the specific computer science program. What we don't know is all the other things you need to do, like, for example, how to get your visa, how to travel to Germany, or things like that. And even the formal stuff, like, for example, congratulations, you have been accepted. We can send you an informal email, which in many cases we have. Sometimes we didn't, because sometimes it just slips through our system that we simply forgot that. But there's always the international office, and they send out the official notification, and that's the one you really need. The official notification, with that you can then go to your embassy or wherever and get your visa. So that's the important thing. Wait for the official notification. By now you should already have received it. And if you're out there and sitting there and still say, well, I don't know if I have been accepted, then something has been lost, because we have completed all the evaluations by the beginning of January, so first half of January. So all applications have been evaluated, and everybody should have received the notification by now, whether they have been accepted or whether they have been rejected. And if you have been accepted, you should already have received the official notification. If not, please contact the international office, because they are, as I said, the only ones who can send you this official notification, and they can give you lots of other useful information. So if there's any questions regarding the further process, what you need to do, if you have any questions how to get visa, or any questions related to visa, you probably know that you need to send this APS certificate, at least for many countries. I don't know if that's true for all countries, but for many countries you need this APS certificate. That's also something, if you want to talk about that, how to get it and when to send it and where to send it, the answer is once again the international office. That's your point of contact with all those things. If you have questions about traveling to Germany, if you have questions about accommodation at Paderborn, for example, for all of those questions, your best point of contact is the international office. And there's two people there, basically. Well, there's more people there, but your first points of contact, your best bet usually is one of the two people mentioned on this slide here, Mr. Morrigan Churu and Mr. Funeyama Torsen. They are really the experts in everything, and you will, once you are here in Paderborn, you will also meet them in person, and you will get to know them, and they will help you throughout your stay here in Paderborn. Whenever there's any questions related to something which is not computer science specific, they will be the ones to ask, and they will usually be able to help or know who can help you. There is also, if you just would like to watch some more videos, there's a video series here on our YouTube channel, not in the live streams, but in the normal channel section. Study Abroad in Paderborn. It's a playlist. It is a little outdated. And you can. I'm also taking part in that, and you can clearly see that I have been very inexperienced when doing videos back then. It's very. I don't like watching myself in those old videos. It was one of the first times when I ever sat in front of a teleprompter to talk to talk about these things, and I was very new in this role as well. I've been with the university for a very long time, but in this role of catering for international students and things like that, I was very new at that time, so the videos are really bad. But still, they contain some useful information, even if in some places it is quite a bit outdated. But it still might be worth watching them, because there might be some useful information in those videos. All right, and then of course we have information for first semester students on our website. You will also, in the official letter, you will also have received probably some information about the so-called Welcome Week, which is something we will organize at the start of the semester. And that's exactly the next thing I would like to talk about. And that's when you should be in Paderborn to start your master program, if you have been accepted for the summer semester. Our lectures will start on the 8th of April. That's a Monday. And the official semester start is 1st of April. But lectures always start a little later than that, usually not on the official start, because semester is always running. The old semester, the winter semester, ends on 31st of March, and the new semester begins on 1st of April. But as I said, there's time in between where we don't have lectures, but where we have exams, for example. And that time even lasts until through the first week of April. And there will be something very important in that first week, and that is this Welcome Week I was talking about. And we'll talk about that in a moment. So lectures will start on on the 8th of April, and you should definitely be here by that time. So if you are starting in the summer semester, make sure that you are here on the 8th of April at latest. And that means maybe in the morning at 9 o'clock on the 8th of April, there might be your first lecture already. And it's always a very, very good idea. It's almost a requirement that you are there for the first lecture. It's not really a requirement because we don't have any obligation for you to be present in any of the courses, but in that first lecture, there will be so much information given to you about what the course content will be, what the all the organizational stuff that you need to know, because you need to register for certain things in order to take part in the lecture. And all of those things, you will get to know the lecturers and the research assistants or teaching assistants, and all of those things will be done in the first lecture. So usually you should never miss the first lecture in a semester for each and every course that you take part in. So, and as I said, on the 8th of April, you will start, the courses will start, and that's why you should be there, definitely be there by that time. All our courses will be IRL, in real life, and we won't have online courses. Well, a university which brick and mortar, or concrete rather, lots of concrete at the university, and that's where the courses will be. We will be in lecture halls, we will be in seminar rooms, and not in virtual rooms like this one, for example. There might be online material available, but that depends very much on the lecturer, and you can ask those lecturers whether they have online material. But that depends on the courses you take, and if you look through the course catalog, we'll talk about that in a moment. If you look through the course catalog and then you find, that's an interesting course I would like to take, and you already know that you can't be here by the 8th of April, which, as I said, is not the best idea. You should be here by that date, but if for some reason you can't be here by that date, then you should contact the lecturer and ask them whether they can make any material online for you, or give you any recommendations, can give you any additional material, any additional help, recommend a good book or whatever, and ask them what you should do. If you arrive significantly later than the 8th of April, like for example only by the end of April, we sometimes have that, or even in mid of May, we even had that people have missed the first 4 or 6 weeks of the semester of lectures. Then I can almost guarantee you that you will not be passing any courses in the first semester. You might still manage. If you're a brilliant student, you can still do it, of course, and if you did lots of and if there's good online material available and you really studied all of that online material, and you also took part in the tutorials, because within the tutorials you will usually have to do weekly assignments, and so you need to do the assignments, because if you don't do the assignments, then you can't take part in the exam in the end and things like that. But if you really manage to do it somehow, then you might still pass a course. But as I said, your chances are drastically reduced the later you come. If you're a week late, you might still be able to take part in that course and complete it. 2 weeks later, maybe, yes. 3 weeks later, it will get hard. 4 weeks later, it will get very hard. 5 or 6 weeks later, I would say it's close to impossible to pass that course. So just keep that in mind. You might still consider coming to Paderborn anyways, even if you don't pass a single course in the first semester, because you can at least use that time to get to know the university, get to know other people at the university, get to know life in Germany, because everything will be different here. And you can do that, of course, but you should keep in mind that basically this first semester, study-wise at least, is kind of lost. In the later you come. As I said, if you don't come too late, you might still be fine, but if you're coming very late, that first semester will be lost in that sense that you can't probably not be able to pass any of the courses. You can still learn something in the courses, of course. You can still go there and take part, but maybe you will not be able to write the exam or pass the exam at the end. What is even before the 8th of April is the Welcome Week. I talked about that a moment ago, and I said we'll come back to that, and now's the time for that. The Welcome Week, or orientation days, you might also call them, they will take part in the week before that. The 1st of April is Easter Monday, so on that day everything is quiet in Germany, so there's no university. And in fact, if you should come on that weekend, be prepared for a long weekend where you even can't go shopping, because all shops and everything, even shops where you can buy food, supermarkets and things like that, they will be closed on Good Friday. They will be open on the Easter Saturday, but they will be closed on Good Friday, on Easter Sunday, and then Easter Monday. All those 3 days, basically everything will be closed down. So there's a few exceptions, like you can go to a petrol station or to the railway station to buy things there, but those are places which are usually quite expensive. And of course, you might go to a restaurant or a pub in the evening. But again, that's the only way to get some food or drinks if you don't have them already at home, because, as I said, all the shops will be closed otherwise. Okay. So this Welcome Week or orientation days, they will start on the 2nd of April. So ideally, you are not only here by the 8th of April, but you're already here by the 2nd of April. Because in that week, on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th of April, the exact dates aren't exact. There's no exact schedule yet for that week. But during that week, there will be, we will welcome you. That's the idea of the Welcome Week. And welcoming you doesn't just mean that we say hello, but also that we will introduce you to quite a few things, some of which I have already mentioned here, but of course many more things. And we will help you organize your first semester here at Paderborn University. Like, you can talk to us about the courses you would like to choose. You can talk to us about any questions, what the requirements exactly are to finally, in the end, complete your master program. You will get to know lots of people. Us, for example, some people from the teaching staff, some people who are the people you can always come to, and that's what we are here for. The study service computer science is exactly your first point of contact whenever there's any questions related to the computer science program. So if you don't know certain things, if you think, oh, well, how do I do this? How do I do that? What do I need to do here? We're not explaining you any specifics of any courses. I don't know many of the courses that are being taught here at our university myself, of course. But that's not what we can do. That you need to ask your lecturer about the course-specific things. But for the computer science program, that's where you can always come to us and talk to us, and we'll try to help you, or we know, usually at least know, who can help you in with certain questions. So don't hesitate, just contact us and we'll try to help you. Contact address is below this video, and the website of the Study Service Computer Science. You'll find all the contact information, and simply send us an email, or each Thursday from 10 to 11 a.m. We have an open hour where you can just simply come without an appointment. So if you have just a quick question or something like that, you can simply come by. And we can talk about things, and apart from that, we can always make appointments for another day. If there's questions that you think might take a little longer. So 2nd of April, this Welcome Week will start, and in the Welcome Week, as I said, you will get to know me, for example, a couple of other people from the study service, people from some of the lecturers, our dean, or not the dean, but the head of the institute will be there and say hello to you. And of course, you will also meet the other international students who will start together with you. And that's also very important, that you get to know some of the other students, and you might also get to know, but you will get to know some of the other students who are also already experienced because they have already studied here for a while. Some German students as well as international students, and you might also get to know, and then things might evolve from there, so that you have some contact already, and then if you have some questions, you can talk to them, of course. And it's always good to know some people, of course. That's what social life is about, after all. So that's the most important things for this for planning to come here. And if you wish to come here, then I need to check something, whether I have the correct information here with me. Yes, I do. Sorry, need to... There we are. Sorry, little irritation here. So here we go. When you are planning for your first semester, then you might already think, well, which courses should I take? Usually, what is a course we usually call a module. So just bear with me if I've used those two words interchangeably. There's something different. The technically correct term here at our university at least is module. You're always studying modules, not courses. But I sometimes talk about courses, sometimes about modules. Usually, in general, it's not much of a confusion. It will be at some point once you are dealing with the administrative stuff here. But as I said, usually module is the same thing as a course. So all of our modules or courses are assigned to one or more of 7 focus areas. And currently, that will change in the winter semester, but we'll not talk about that right now. Currently, you need to specialize at some point in one of those 7 focus areas. I won't talk too much about that. And in fact, I don't want to talk about that at all. This is just important for course selection, because you will see that when I talk about the course selection in a moment, that you'll find this structure in our course catalog. So that's, for the time being, this is the only important information. There are certain requirements right now, at least in our program, because you need to specialize in one of those focus areas. That will change from the winter semester onwards. Then you can specialize, but you don't have to. And also, during your first semester here, there's absolutely no need to think about that in any way. So you might want to specialize, or you don't have an idea yet on whether you wish to specialize somewhere or in which area of these 7 you wish to specialize. No problem at all. So we'll talk about that once you're here. That will be part of the welcome program of the welcome week. Then we can talk about all of these things. And then it's much easier than here in the chat to ask some questions, because that might be very specific questions, and we can take care of each of you individually and tell them, this is a good idea, this is not a good idea, because there's very few not good ideas for the first semester. It's basically you can basically do almost do whatever you want. Oops, sorry, I'm in the wrong area here. This is what I want to. No, sorry. Sorry. I need to leave this presentation for a moment, and then I hopefully can find the right slide. So here we go. This is what I wanted to do. Okay, so as I said, you can already check if you are interested. You don't have to worry about that at all. You don't have to worry now about which courses you want to pick in the summer semester. But I know you. No, I don't know you, but usually I know people. And many people, of course, think, well, it would be nice to have at least an idea what courses I might be taking in the upcoming summer semester. As I said, there's no need to consider that right now. No need to worry about that. You can do all of that when you arrive here at the beginning of April. As I said, 2nd of April would be a good idea if you're here on 2nd of April in the morning at 9 o'clock, because that's when we'll probably start on the 2nd of April. So it would be a great idea if you are here by that time, and then you can take part in the welcome weekend. We can talk about all of those things in detail. And right now you can't register for any courses anyway, but you can already have a look at them. So if you're curious what the course program might be, then you can visit our course catalog. The course catalog is in a system which is called paul.uni-paderborn.de. Again, link is below this video, and that's where you find the course catalog. In that course catalog, you need to click through a hierarchy, which says faculty for electrical engineering, computer science, electrical engineering, and mathematics. In that, you'll find the Department of Computer Science, and that you'll find the Computer Science Master Program, among other programs. And in that Master Program, you'll then find 7 entries. And those 7 entries are exactly those focus areas I just mentioned on the slide before. That's why I mentioned those slides, just to give you an idea that those are these 7 so-called focus areas. What those focus areas are is, we don't need to talk about that right now. But those are the 7 entries, and within those 7 entries, you on the seven bullet points on this website that I just mentioned in the course catalog for the Master Program of Computer Science. Those are the courses, the modules you can take. There are 2 more categories there, which are the seminars and project groups, and you can't take a seminar or project group in your first semester here. So you don't need to bother about those at all. But in the first 7, you will find lots of courses, and you can just check them and look through the titles of the courses. And you'll find courses in, for example, IT security, and then you can see, well, that's what they're doing there. You can find courses in software engineering, and then you say, well, that course sounds interesting. You only see the titles of the courses and the times and when they will take place and who the lecturer will be. And in case you want to contact the lecturer, then you know their name, and then you'll check on our website to find the contact address, and then you can contact that person, of course. And you will also find, as I said, the title, but maybe the title doesn't really give you an idea what will be done in that course. And there's another thing, and that's called the module handbook. Again, link is below this video. I don't know if there's a direct link, otherwise you'll find it through the website of the study service. And if you go to the study service website, then you'll find on the right-hand side there will be a menu, and in that list there's the module handbook, and the module handbook describes each and every course in some detail. So you can look through there, and then you'll not only find the title of the course and the name of the lecturer, but you'll also find a short description. It's not a very extensive description, but at least a short description that gives you an idea what the course is about, and that might give you a better idea. And you can use that to get at least an idea which courses you might want to take in the upcoming summer semester in your first semester here. As I said, you don't have to do that. You can do that by now, or otherwise you can just come here and be completely, basically unprepared. Well, of course you are prepared because you have studied a bachelor program before and you know where you're going to, hopefully. But you don't have to do any of these things. So you don't have to pick any courses by now. You can just take it easy, come here, take part in the welcome week, and then we can discuss. And you can tell us what your interests are, and then we can try and find a good course program for you. Because that's one of the important things, and that's something which is very unique to Paderborn University, I believe, to the computer science program at Paderborn University, even compared to other programs within our university, but also compared to other computer science programs around Germany, I think. And that is that our master program is a very, very open program. So basically, we don't have any compulsory modules. You need to take part in a seminar in the project group, not in the first semester, but later on. But there's no specific compulsory courses that you need to take. So basically, what you want to do in the master program is what you decide you want to do. So this is really a program that gives you the opportunity, but also the responsibility to design your own master program. So what we do is we guarantee that we will be offering lots of interesting modules, lots of interesting courses. At least we believe they are interesting, and I hope you will join us in that, and we'll be of the same opinion there. So we will be offering plenty of courses in each and every semester, and you decide which ones are interesting to you. And if you say, well, that's something that sounds interesting to me, well, then you pick the course. And if there's another course where you say, well, that sounds kind of boring, or I don't believe that I can do that because it sounds like they need lots of things that I'm not good at or that I don't like at all, something like that, then you simply say, well, I don't take that module. I'll take another one instead, because there will be plenty of modules available. And then you can basically, you build your own master program. You decide what you want to do, where you want to specialize. And as I said, there's no need to worry about specialization. There's certain rules for specialization, but you don't have to currently you have to specialize, but in the future you won't have to specialize. And there's certain rules, if you want to specialize, there's certain rules that you need to meet, but there's nothing, all of those are things that we can talk about later. That's nothing to worry about at the beginning. So my recommendation would be, if you want to prepare yourself already, check the course catalog, look through the course catalog, which modules sound interesting to you from the title. Check the course description in the module handbook, what is being done in that course. And then make a list for yourself of at least 5 courses, maybe more courses that you think those might be my top choices of the modules that are being offered in the upcoming summer semester. Those might be the courses I would like to take. And when you're prepared like that, then it will be very easy in the first week and during the welcome week that you can finalize your personal schedule of your first semester here at our university in our computer science master program. And if you didn't prepare at all, then we'll still manage to do that because, as I said, in the first semester, there's basically nothing you can do wrong. The only thing you can do wrong is pick courses that you're not interested in. So that's the most important thing. Think for yourself what you would like to do. What are your interests? And that's sometimes that's not easy to decide, but I know that. But that's basically the most important thing. You should decide for yourself. This is something I want to learn, and because if it's something you want to learn, then you're usually motivated, and when you're motivated, there's a good chance that you also will be good in that course and that you will pass the exam, will even make a good exam or things like that, and just is more fun to do interesting things than to do uninteresting things. And why should you pick uninteresting things if there's so many modules available, so many courses available, that there should be lots of interesting ones for each and every person. And as I said, during the first semester, there's no need to worry about anything. You can't pick any wrong courses in that sense. So yeah, just do whatever sounds good to you, what you think would be the right courses for you. And also, I should also mention that nothing is fixed from the beginning onwards. So you might, for example, the general rule is that you should start with 5 modules in the summer semester, 5 courses. But you might take 1 or 2 more in the first week and then drop 2 of them after the first week because you said, well, those 7 sounded interesting, but those other 5 I would like best, and then you take part in those 5 courses. You can also take part in more courses, but that will be sometimes difficult to arrange your weekly schedule, and also the workload might be too high. And usually it's not a good idea to take more than 5 modules, but in the first week, and that's why the first week is so important, because then you can go to each and every of the lectures and listen to the lecturers, what they are telling you, and then you can have a better idea whether, apart from the course description, because they will tell you much more in this first lecture than is written in the course description, and then you can decide, well, that really sounded interesting, that sounds like a cool course, a cool module, a cool course that I would like to take, and then you take that course and another course which maybe sounded interesting on paper. You decide, well, it doesn't look, after the first lecture I would say, well, it's not really my cup of tea, so I'd rather do something else. So that might be a good reason to take, in the first week, to visit some more courses than just 5, but then reduce it as soon as possible down to 5, because 5 courses, if you really manage to do 5 courses in your first semester, then you're really good to go, because there's so many things that will keep you from really completing 5 modules. Like, for example, you're living in a foreign country, maybe for the first time in your life. You're living very, very far away from home. You're living away from all the people you know and who might have been your kind of support structure. You're in a completely different country where many things are probably different than in your home country. So you need to get used to the German university system, which is probably very different from the university system where you have studied in. So there's so many reasons why 5 modules might be even too much, But again, that's something for another day. We won't talk about that tonight. Speaking of talking about tonight, with this I would like to conclude this session for tonight, this live stream. As I said, we have these live streams each and every month with 2 exceptions, not in March and not in September. So the next live stream of the Study Service Computer Science will be in April, in the first week of April, on the 1st of April, in fact, during your welcome week. I will also, on one evening, on Thursday evening at 6 p.m., I will be busy with another live stream here, and that's a live stream for our bachelor program. And on the 18th of April, if I've got the dates right, so it's the 3rd Thursday in April, we will have another live stream here for the master program. And by that time, some of the people I try to address tonight will hopefully or probably already be here at Paderborn University and will be studying with us, and will already be in their second week of lectures by that time. And I would like to address you then as well, of course, because we can talk about things, the first experiences there and everything. And I will also, of course, talk again about things like, I will not talk about starting your program, because you have those people who would be interested in that have started, but I will also talk about the application process once again, give some more information on that for people who aren't yet here, and of course again information for all of our current master students in the master program of computer science here. I will give some information for them as well. Like, for example, I will always give updates about important dates that are coming up, like, for example, if you need to register for certain things or things like that. That's all stuff I will mention here on this live stream. And hopefully help you get your studies organized. We only had very few questions tonight, but that's okay. As you see, I can easily talk for much more than an hour, even if there's very, very few questions. But of course, you are welcome, always welcome, to ask your questions during these live streams. For tonight, we'll call it a night. And so with that, we'll call it a day, call it a night, and I wish you all the best, and wherever you are, and if you are traveling to Paderborn, I will hopefully see you sometime soon, hopefully during the welcome week, and we'll hopefully get you off to a good start here at Paderborn University. And if you are already studying here, I wish you all the best for the upcoming exams, if you have any, but you probably will have exams, because we're only 2 weeks into the exam phase. Remember, if you want to take part in the second examination phase, as I mentioned at the beginning on the 26th of February and until the 8th of March, there will be the second registration phase for the second examination phase. So don't forget to do that if you want to take part in an exam there. And with that, I'll call it a night, and I would like to say to you goodbye, good night, and good luck with everything that you have planned, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye-bye.